Shake Table Lab by Annelie and Catherine Devotie. We started to think of models that would withstand the earthquake for the longest amount of time before we started building. Catherine and I thought about different ways we could support our structure while it was on the shake table. Both of us agreed to make the first floor up 19 centimeters from the base and the second floor up 18 centimeters from the first floor. We began by creating a base that would keep our earthquake tower upright. Then we put one straw inside of another and did this 4 times. To complete the base, we taped these straws down on the cardboard square to keep them secure. Next, we started to build the floors and uprights. We put a straw inside of another straw to make our uprights longer, which we would attach the floors to later on. After that, Catherine and I taped a straw on each width of the tower up 19 centimeters from the base to create our first floor. Then we did this again 18 centimeters higher than the first floor. To make sure that our tower would withstand the earthquake, we installed supports on each side on each floor. These supports were formed as an X, and to form this, we had to put half a straw into a full straw in order to make it long enough to reach the corner of the floor. After that, we added more support to our first floor using our leftover straws. Catherine and I worked together to add our own creative roof with many colorful details. We were finally finished. Our first floor was 19 centimeters up from the base, and our second floor was 18 centimeters up from the first floor. Altogether, our tower was 86 centimeters tall instead of the height we first planned it would be, which was 37 centimeters tall. This was because a new building code was set. This building code stated that the tower needed to include a roof. Another measurement we changed on our building was the width of our tower. Originally, it was supposed to be 20 centimeters, but when the tower was finished, it ended up being 20.5 centimeters. Once our tower was finished, Catherine and I placed 2 sandbags on each floor that were 250 grams each. Our tower passed this test and didn't collapse. We did this before we could test our tower on the shake table. To make our tower stronger, we added support underneath the first floor because it is the part that holds up the rest of the tower. Catherine and I also inserted straws into each other for 4 uprights to strengthen the straws. One of the strongest parts of our tower is the support that we put under our first floor because there were several support beams. I also think that one of the strongest parts of our tower is the joints of the straws because they are stuck into one another, so there is double the thickness. We also covered the joints with lots of tape. The weakest part of our tower is the second floor because there isn't enough support underneath it. Catherine and I only put 2 straws across from each other, forming a cross, and the straws that were used did not have double the thickness. We put tape around the straws wherever 2 straws met and at the point where the 2 straws crossed at the X supports. The place where we put the most tape was on the joints of the uprights where the straws met. For our flooring, we covered our straws with sky blue construction paper and secured it with tape. To decorate our roof, Catherine and I used different colors of construction paper to create unicorns, clouds, a leprechaun, and a narwhal. We also used some extra straws to attach our cutout decorations to. The second time we tested our tower, there were 6 sandbags on the tower in total. Our building was successful and had no problem staying up during this minor earthquake.
We're ready? First major earthquake.
Oh, he's not dying. Oh, okay.
Oh, it's been.
Where? Oh, the sound's from back there.
Hey, it didn't die, Annelie. Woo!
When we did the last test, there were 16 sandbags on the tower altogether. The building collapsed during the major earthquake after a couple seconds.
No, Mr. C! Don't kill our tower!
Here we go. Here we go. Whoa, this is a big one.
The x-axis on the sensor reading shows how much the building moved from side to side, and the y-axis shows how much it moved back and forth. After that, the z-axis reading shows the movement that the tower makes while bouncing up and down. In the beginning of our reading, you can see that the shaking was successful at first, and then it collapsed at the very end when the sensor reading was straight, not zigzagged. Hi, my name is Annelie Zuckerman, and this is my Shake Table Lab interview. Our tower withstood 14 sandbags, 7 on the first floor and 7 on the second floor. I thought our tower was pretty strong. It fell when we put 16 sandbags in total on our tower. Our building failed at the base cross supports on the first floor. It failed because we did not have enough straws or tape to support our building. If I would have done this project over and made changes to my tower, I would have added more straws to the bottom supports, I would have taped our straws together better, and I would have taped where 2 straws connected more. I learned that to make an earthquake-safe building, there are many building codes and regulations you need to follow. You also need a very strong and sturdy foundation because this is what holds up the rest of the building or tower. I enjoyed that we got to be creative and design our own building. I also enjoyed to do our decorations on our roof and work with my partner. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Catherine Devoti, and this is my Shake Table Lab interview. Our tower withstood 14 sandbags, 7 on the first floor and 7 on the second floor. We put 16 on, but it fell. Our tower failed at the first floor cross supports. They were not strong enough to support 14 sandbags. There were not enough straws or tape. If I were to change something about my building, I would add more support on the first floor and on the base level under the floors. To build an earthquake-safe building, I learned that there are many codes and regulations you need to follow. You also need to have a lot of support. I enjoyed working with my partner and being creative about decorating our building and designing it. Thank you.